are live. I think we are live. Yes, we are live. Yes, we are live. All right, we're doing it again. What's up, everybody? Just another stream with me, SoNick Films. I should not call myself Nick. Anyway, yeah, just again practicing live streaming. I'm gonna do about an hour today. I usually do about 30 minutes and then unlist it. Don't clip it. Don't do anything. But at the end of the day, it's just about getting better. So crazy week. I think maybe you can hear water coming in the background. That's I'm in the basement, so there's definitely something going on. Let me just check if my speakers are on and working. Yep, everything seems copacetic. What's up, guys? So yeah, like I said, it's been a crazy week, insane day even. Had some great calls. So, long story short, we're going back to the garden this weekend. The girls punched their ticket. Beat Duxbury at Conti Forum last Sunday. I think we went over in the last stream. And yeah, man, just got my credentials. Thank you to the MIA. Thank you to Milton's athletic director. Appreciate all the help with all of that. Got confirmation that Rashburn Flicks has also got his passes, and it's going to be a blast. We're 9 a.m. in there, so I imagine I'm going to be in Boston dumb early. The reality of it is I know what I'm walking into. It's St. Patty's Day Sunday. Public transportation is going to be a nightmare. Traffic's going to be a nightmare. But you know what? Know how to get in and out of there. Don't know if I'm going to camp out there all day for the rest of the games, but yeah, man, I'm so stoked. Went to the Garden last year. Got to meet Silas MP4 for the first time. Got to meet Hockey Night, the people that do Hockey Night Boston. I think they've been such a great supporter of all this stuff. Actually, if you go on a lot of the photos and stuff, Hockey Night Boston has been absolutely key as a collaboration. And here's the thing, I don't know, like they do this without asking for anything in return. And you look at the kind of coverage that they're doing throughout the tournament. It's really awesome. So here's the thing, I'm not that into the interviews. Like there's some moments in them that are funny. Hold up, let's see if there's some good stuff. But if you really want to catch up what's going on in the Massachusetts high school hockey scene, like look at this stuff that they're putting out right now. It's just ridiculous. They give so many photographers and videographers chances, but like to the level of stuff that like is getting dropped from these videographers, these photographers, and then to be able to share in a platform that has 24,000. So say if you're just a kid literally starting out, oh, there's one of mine goes right there. You're just a kid starting out. This makes a huge difference. Like, let's say, oh yeah, this kid of course it's Halsey. Okay, so I met this kid last year at TD Garden. This kid is an absolute monster. He is just, I think he might be the toughest out there right now. He might be the toughest out. Let's go jump over it. Dude, like, Halsey doesn't play. So, first of all, he's got all the numbers to back it up. Like, yeah, I can't believe some of the stuff he drops on a daily basis. But look, like, he's got numbers behind what he does. And quality and consistency. What is that? Hold up. So this is a senior night video. Of course, it's a banger. I've never seen that. That's sick. Dude, face paint in hockey? I'm all about. Oh, dude, the atmosphere of this girls' game looks so sick. I'm not playing the audio just because, obviously, like, I don't want to get flagged. But oh my god, this is so lit. Phillips Andover versus Phillips Exeter. Wow. So these are prep schools. There's got to be prep schools. Phillips Andover, but this is a big rivalry game. Oh my god, they're playing the body. Love it. Top Rizzy. Now, here's the thing. Like, sometimes it'd be like, oh, what about the other? Oh, goalie Selly. That's sick. Because goalies never sellied back when I was going. It was like, I love seeing goalies. That's... How are you supposed to compete with that? How do you compete with that? Like, dude. And the thing is, he's like 5'5", too. That's the only bad thing I could say about him. Who cares? I remember I actually got confused. Hold up, I'm going to go right down to where it was because probably have to scroll down far. I mean, look up another senior night video, Another senior night video. Another senior night video. Like, bro, like, can anybody else eat? Like, dude, look at this kid's stuff. It's unreal. Unreal. Love goalie sellies. I credit Sway and Ali for doing that. Oh, he's got some college stuff right here. Women's bean pot. Oh, always got to click on Harvard. Penalty shot, overtime for the bean pot. Oh, give me a break, bro. So he's shooting from the stands right now from the press area. Key framing excellence. Key framing excellence. See, I love this angle in particular because generally, like, everybody wants to get, so he definitely has got an angle from this. So you can see he's shooting from the center low section of TD Garden right there. And that's actually probably the best spot to snipe because everybody wants to go in the corners where Babs is, where Steve Babineau is, the head photographer for the Bruins. Where the first Babs hole was ever created, the hole in there, he actually was the first guy to ever be like, fuck, cut me a hole here, put me a sliding thing there. I'm going to get clearer, better shots because the glass, it pulls the focus, it gets messed up. It doesn't look as good as it could. So everybody wants to try to shoot from there. The reality is you're not stepping in front of Steve Babineau. You're not stepping in front of Steve Babineau. That dude is shot for like Neil Young, Cam Neely, Ray Bork, any major person that has come through Boston, you can guarantee Babs has got a photo of it in the log. You can guarantee that. And if it says on that corner, Babs, to let everybody know that's his spot. And you're lucky to be anywhere close to that. So the balcony is where everybody's just, we all chill. We're all just kind of hanging. And I love it. I can't wait to, I met CT Visuals at the last game at Conti. He's sick. Did great work with Situate, doing great work with Hanover. Yeah, we're still on Halsey right now. Oh, dude, the stuff he does to the little kids. This is another reason I love this kid. He does not discriminate at the range of what he will do. Look at that. Yuck, dude. I wouldn't have the stones to do that, Selly, at any point in my life. Wow. These kids just have so much more fun playing hockey than we did growing up. And I'm going to make this clear. It's like I had fun playing hockey growing up. Hockey was fun, but hockey was akin to more like war. It was something you got through. And I look at these kids and they're just having a blasty blast all the time. And they're just having such a good ass time. And I'm jealous. Dude, if I sellied at all that hard, I would get back to the bench and the coach was like, hope you like that moment or whatever it was, because I'm not going to send you back out there after pulling that shit. You're going to skate to the other end of the ice, completely ignore your teammates, hit a Superman pose on one knee, and then slam yourself into the boards and then mog the other team on the way down. It's a 1-0 game in the first period. Keep it together. That's what my coach would say. But now you just got to let the kids rock. And honestly, it's not that deep. Just let the kids rock. Let them have fun. It's part of the game. It's part of why we play. Okay, so to bring it to the point of why we scrolled down Halsey's page. So this is a funny story. So he shot Milton versus Duxbury 1 in the tournament that was here. So, yeah, just Sabrina Stone's an absolute weapon. Also, I like to see when girls go harder on the sellies. They've been more reserved. They selly like we had to back in the day, but now you can kind of see them opening up a bit more, doing the one leg, doing the let's go, slamming into the board. Yo, why let the boys have all the fun? Skate all the way across the ice and hit the stew. Who cares? But anyway, he shot for this tournament here, and then they came back home to our home rink for the next game, and then some girls that were giggling in the corner, like looking at me, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? It's like, are you Halsey Films? I'm like, bro, he's like 5'5". I look like I ate Halsey. Give me a break. But it is also sick that like it's weird that videographers and photographers are becoming like kind of weirdly known. The only difference is like I'm the only kind of jerk that puts himself out there as a character. And Halsey, you don't see him at all in his own work. comparatively to my page, let's skip back here. Yeah, see, like I got me, I got like, oh, I'm doing a stream of myself right now. I have my POV, I have pictures of myself. Like, I integrate my stuff, but the stars of the show are the kids. And that's the biggest thing. And also, I'm tough. This is why you don't compare yourself to anybody else. My shit goes pretty hard. But if you compare me to Halsey, like, no, dude, I can't, I'm not him. Dude, I have so much respect. I'm a fan of what he does. I think it would be foolish if I tried to do what he did because he's so much better at it than me. So I try to do my own thing with my videos. I try to just do my own thing. And, it works for me. And people that rock with it, rock with it. So, like, yeah. See, I ain't bad. Not the best, not the worst. I'm okay with that. I think if more people just accepted, where they're at and, I got over trying to be the best at anything. It's like, dude, it's like not about being the best. It's just about showing up and giving a good effort and doing the best you can, as lame as that sounds. Yeah, man, you know what? I loved shooting for this team, man. This is like my favorite team. They look like they have so much fun playing hockey. Anyway, so we're going to the Garden with them Sunday. We have something really cool planned with them. So kind of circle it back. We had a video go viral recently. So let's see if I can pull this up. This reel is getting more likes. See, this is what sucks about doing Instagram on desktop. It always tries to make you run ads, and I don't care. I'm trying to look at my actual insights to what's going on, and he just is pointless. Like I just had my numbers pulled up 5 seconds ago, and now it's just saying all I can do is manage ads, which I don't run. Because, okay, I'm going to give away the goose right now. You guys want some social media advice? Stop running Facebook ads. Stop running Meta ads. You're blowing money. It's a joke. Because here's the real reality of it. The real reality. Once Meta knows that you will pay for reach, they will make you pay for reach. They will kill your organic reach because they know you will pay. So, like, yes, the marketing could be worth it. If I always say it's like, look, for whatever ad spend that you do, if you're going to make that money back on sales, on revenue source of any kind, absolutely you could run that ad and that makes sense. But just know for the future, your organic following and your organic audience is going to suffer from that because they're not going to see your organic stuff anymore. They're going to maybe see your sponsored ads, which they don't like. And, it's trying to reach an audience that might like it. But for the most part, you're taking a piss in the wind and taking the trust of Meta and their geofencing, which, let's be honest, I think Facebook's dead internet at this point. I think Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok's fallen off, and YouTube are the only real social media platforms left. Twitter does not work. It doesn't work. Actually, I'm you know what? I have my Twitter tab open because I was going to do that, but I'm not comfortable doing that anymore. Not because of anything I follow, because I opened up the For You page and it's just nonsense. So here's how I've actually, okay, let's just fucking hope nothing's horrific here, but why doesn't Ireland have a baseball team? Italy just grabbed a bunch of guys from Jersey and called it a national roster. Would walk through Southie on Sunday. Okay, all right. This is why I come back to Twitter. First thing. I was expecting something horrific, but yeah, dude. The problem is that's a good joke. I don't know if that's a cool dude, though. Maybe the rest of his tweets are very questionable. I don't know. That's the problem with Twitter, too. Like, I could retweet this guy, give this guy a bunch of boosts, but, like, what if the rest of his tweets are horrible? Like, that's great. That's objectively, that's awesome, because why doesn't Ireland have a team? We don't have enough Irish guys in New England. Dude, we could make Ireland next World Baseball Classic. That would be so lit. If it's just on heritage, like, yeah, let it rock. Spain could have a team. Israel had a team. Like, why can't we have Team Ireland all the way? But here's how I combat Twitter problems. I just make lists and I pin them to the top so I know what's going on. So I have my MMA Twitter so I can keep up with that. Pro wrestling Twitter because I'm weird, but I try to stay off of that one. Politics Twitter. Oh my God, does that one get weird? That one gets weird. Hockey Twitter, possibly my favorite one because again, like I get a lot of good ideas from, okay, let's see. Ron wants to boom. Punching helmet, back of the head. These punches are horrible. Horrible. Right. Okay, good uppercuts, good clinch. See, this is why they need to start doing jujitsu and understanding clinch ties or Muay Thai. Like, this is like ridiculous. And how come nobody throws elbows in hockey fights? Like, I would just grab the inside collar and come inside with an elbow. Why wouldn't you do that? It's not against the rules. Dude, it's on the rules that you can fight, but you still fucking do it. Who cares if I dead this guy with an elbow? Like, hold up. Go to YouTube. Mike Perry, Jake Ellenberger, KO. Let's see if I can find a short of it because I don't want to get flagged. Get the freaking volume off. Oh, yeah. See, this is what I want to do right here. Like in a hockey fight. So let's break this one down. In a hockey fight. So you're inside the clinch. He's got an over-under. Inside elbow. As he's coming in. Inside elbow. So you can see that he's just planted. He's almost like just twisting off the back foot. And inside elbow. Boom. Sit down. Sit down. Overhead. Bump. Yeah, just short elbow, clinch inside. And I don't know why that's not used in hockey fights more. Especially in the coast or like, in the AHL where the guys are like really fighting. Like just wait. My idea. Hope that didn't get me street flagged. I played a little bit of that. But yeah. Essentially, like I when I watch at hockey fights, like why are they not throwing? You have a pad on the elbow, use it. So again, like this is what I'll do when I'm kind of like doing some market research. This is what I'm doing right now. It's about an hour of market research, looking at different graphics, stuff like that. Also have football over here. I am a football fan. Like this is actually, the NFL gives great. Like, different things that you can use for, like, I use it for Cage Titans specifically because I think, if I was just going around and copying the UFC, that's not going to get us much of anywhere. So I try to pull ideas like, okay, what's the NFL doing? What's the NHL doing? What are other things? Oh, and music. Let's see what's going on here. I used to be way more deep into the music scene when I was a musician. Now I don't follow shit. But it's also hard to follow because it's like, I don't give who the fuck cares about Harry Styles? I don't know who the hell that. What is going on with music? There's just no vibe to it. Like Schoolboy Q, let's see, like Drake allegedly named Oxrino leak snippet believed to be up. Okay, but what about music? What about the song itself? Like why is he taking a shot at Schoolboy? He's not Kendrick. Schoolboy Q's golfing. Serena's retired. Give me a break, dude. Like, I love Drake's music. Just drop a good summer album, Drake. That's all we ever ask. Just drop something that we can mildly vibe to 2 a.m. driving home from the car, from the club, from a party. Give us a couple of features with dudes that can make bangers, and you can kind of slide in and do whatever you do. Just give us a good summer album. That's all you got to do, Drake. Give us a good summer album, and then all is forgiven and forgotten, sort of. No, not really, but, just what I'm saying. Okay, what? All right, so I did not plan for this. What was once a late-night cable TV sideshow has grown into a culture-shifting sport that President Trump says a fan inside Dana White Rolling Stone issue. Okay, that's some reading material. I'm definitely in. Is there a video part that goes with this? Okay, so that's Michael Chandler. They couldn't have used his most recent fight. Okay, whatever. Empire of Blood. How Dana White's UFC has conquered America. What was once a late night cable TV show? Oh, we just did that. Dana White's Big Brash Competition Crushing Company by Jackie Crosby. Photographs by Natalie Kisar. You know what? Here's the thing that I'm stoked about right now. Through streaming. Do this right now. I'm getting reading back into my diet. I haven't read a blog post in a goddamn minute. I'm going to be honest with you. I used to write them. It brings up a point that I've been meaning to make for a while. Reading is not part of the social media diet anymore. at all. And it's a problem. uh, Nobody reads captions. Nobody reads anything anymore. And it used to be back when, Facebook, Twitter, and all this stuff going, it was very common to have reading still be a huge part of your internet diet. Big criticism of internet writing early on was just that it had no structure. Editorially, it was all over the place. You couldn't rely on any sources. People pontificated and put out a lot of nonsense, and then it got very clickbaity. But the thing is, now nobody reads articles. And that's sad because I fucking loved used to read articles. And I know I'm not reading right now, but I wanted to make that to the larger point. It's like, guys, you got to have a little bit of reading in your diet, in your media diet, in your intake diet, even if it's just what we're going to do right now, which is maybe just kind of breeze and scrim through this thing. But yeah, I can't wait to see Rolling Stone's take on the UFC and Donald Trump. It actually has been revealed that Dana White went media outlets. It might be Eddie Hearn talking shit, but he went out there and he said that he has a pre-approved list of topics, and he vets these interviews and they get screening, which is honestly not that insane, especially when you're talking to somebody to the level of Dana White, who also has to keep certain things. It's like, hey, dude, don't ask me about that right now because it's got nothing to do with what I'm promoting right now, and also that kind of pulls all the focus away from what I'm trying to do. So please don't bring that up at this point in time. If you would like that portion of that interview or those questions answered, we can do the proper facilities to do so, but that's not what's happening today. And I think that's a fair boundary. But also at the same time, I also know Rolling Stone. They're pretty cool. They're also not pretty cool. So let's see. There are two men bleeding in a chain link fence in front of the president of the United States. All right, we are fucking off to a rip-roaring start. Week and a half ago, Donald Trump was elected for his second term, and now he is back home in the center of the world underneath the lights of Madison Square Garden, watching the greatest gladiators of our time in a canvas and steel octagon. Okay, I'm hooked. Bars. Hold on, I already got that. Jack? Yo, Jack, I fucks with you, Jack. You got a way with the words. You do. I can tell that 2 lines in. Paint me a picture. For the past 4 rounds, Charles Oliveira, a tall Brazilian with blinding white teeth and icy bleached white hair to match, has been beating the absolute shit out of Michael Chandler, a short American wrestler who fights with a kind of manic joy that often works against. Yo, that's sick. That's actually kind of sick. Okay. Chandler, you could have said a jacked American wrestler, a stocky American wrestler, not short. You lead with short. If I'm Michael Chandler, I'm punching air right now. Like, fuck this guy. A short American, bro. So here's the thing. I don't think the first thing when I think of Michael Chandler, I don't think short, but now that you mention it, yeah, he's kind of, yeah, never mind. Michael Chandler's so cool. I don't care that people think he's cringe. I love him. He's a dude. He's a real one. He's a real fighter. You don't like him, you're a hater. Case in point, early 5th round and final round, Chandler finally connects with a right hook on the side of Oliveira's jaw that sounds like the slapping of a flat shovel into the wet earth. Oliveira staggers, and Chandler blitzes forward, arms and wides, looking for the kill. But then he slips and falls over. They end up on the ground instead, Chandler on top, pounding at the back of Oliveira's head. Brutal, dangerous strikes that are illegal in universal rules of mixed martial arts, but not called by the referee. You don't have to be an elite ball knower to know that it's just like, hey, man, if the ref don't call it, That's every sport, though. Like, every sport. Like, you could call something on every play with people taking chippy shots at each other, everybody doing something like that. I mean, like, people call Chandler a super dirty fighter. I think here's my thing. I don't like sportsmanship. I like gamesmanship. I'm a gamesmanship guy. Because here's the thing. What could I do that's technically not cheating, but I could still win? I'm going to do. That's gamesmanship. Sportsmanship is being a sucker, being like fake humble, which I find pretty nauseating, to be honest. And yeah, like people's always like hitting him in the back of the head. Well, Chandler's 35, the fish hooked me, did this, did that, did this, and that. It's like, yo, bro, it's a fucking fight. Don't be in the position where the guy's punching you in the back of the head. Why are you on the ground getting punched in the back? You're not supposed to be there. That's not the plan. You know, if you get fouled, don't be in that position. Simple as that. Dude, it sounds like a dick thing to say, but it's also like that's really what's happening. That's what's happening on every sport level. It's like a offensive lineman saying, he's like, he was holding on that play. Call holding on every play, dude. What are you talking about? Hockey after the whistle, dude, he just like, they always call the retaliation. So if you like just whack somebody on the way out and the ref don't see it, and then you go back and you back check him and he calls you for something and you're like, what the fuck? He hit me. It's like, he gamesmanshiped you, dude. Sorry. That's gamesmanship. I'm a fan of that. I like that. I don't like sportsmanship sometimes. No, I love sportsmanship. At the end of the day, you know, be a competitor, be aspiring in the context of the competition. Do as much as you can, have as much, you know, fun, and be as competitive and aspiring. Do what you got to do to get the win. But I do know guys who have the presence of mind to not fucking foul guys and to not do penalties on people. So there's a degree of sportsmanship and gamesmanship that can be done. You can be both at the same time. I'm just talking personally from the SoNick persona perspective. Gamesmanship. Let it rock, bro. Let it rock, Michael Chandler. And we all know who won the fight, so who cares? In MMA, almost all human bodies are allowed. There are a scarce few things. Headbutts. I'm okay with headbutts. Put it back in. Biting. Eye gouging. Absolutely not. And aforementioned blows directly to the back of the head are banned. But you can't kick him in the dick. Can't kick him in the balls. That's a rule. If I'm the editor, I would have added that. Anyway, you can punch, knee, kick, and elbow. Bend your arm and feel it, the knob beneath your skin and the tip of your elbow. At the right position, it will cut like a scalpel. What was I saying about hockey fights? What was I saying just a minute ago? Anyway, Oliveira latches onto Chandler's back. I saw this fight. All right. I'm starting to get a little bit bored. My ADHD is now taking over. Making of an empire. 300 million, 60. But the thing is, this is all review for me. I'm so tired of the UFC story being told a bazillion times over again. I know what happened. They revamped it, they brought it to the world. Nobody believed what we believed. Yeah, it's just like, how many times can I keep doing it? All right, let's just find something else to get into real quick, because I'm already starting to lose steam, because streaming is actually very hard when you have no subject matter. You have nothing to bounce it off of. You have no chat to go with. But also, again, we're not promoting this. We're just literally getting reps in. The reps are important. Let's see what my so I see Louis working over here. That one's just so Isaiah is actually going to Korea to represent America for Black Combat, which is this really cool promotion that he just signed to. Love you, Isaiah. Appreciate you. Everything you did for Cage Titans. Absolute gangster. Great opportunity. Great life experience. He's going to be awesome. But let's see what Louis is up to right now. So Louis Linton is kid at UMass Amherst. Came on as an intern. Now he is a social media coordinator for Cage Titans. Has been for the beginning of the year. And his job essentially is to create all new types of content for Cage Titans that I would not make, because I have to come to the terms with the fact that I am Unk. And the time I can get things, but here's the thing. I can only try to get those things where Louis just is those things, if that makes sense. I don't know what it's like to be an MMA fan that came in during the COVID era and just started getting into it and has known it in the context of what it's been for the last 5 years. I came into MMA back in 2007. Red letter UFC days. Like, we were still talking about guys like Sean Shirk, BJ Penn, GSP, Anderson Silva. Like, even going back, Forrest Griffin was like one of my early favorites. Like, again, like, this is the era I grew up in, and I knew the type of stuff that attracted me as a fan that I tried to put into my work for Cage Titans, and I do still put in, and we still collaborate and try to put that stuff together. But when I'm thinking about, like, how do we grow and reach new people that would not regularly be fans or are new fans of MMA that maybe don't respond to the same sorts of content that I would be putting out, Louis fills in those gaps. And, you know, he's been smoking it right now. Now, these were literally just posted, so I'm not going to get on his ass. But yeah, you look at this, like he always gets consistent numbers. And what he's really honed in on is this style of doing the fake tweet, having a good thumbnail, always trying to create some type of hook before you even look. And yeah, man, like we got to get some of these videos off that have these low views because I just don't like this optically. But here's the thing, there's no problem with the content itself. Like if we go and look at the content, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. So here's what we can tighten up. We're going to tighten up this font. We're going to have this put up just a little bit farther so their heads aren't cut off and that you still have this space to work with right here. And then we're going to repost it and we're going to try it again and it's going to work and it's going to get 1,000 views, which is the minimum, and they could stay on the page forever. And then rinse and repeat. Because at the end of the day, most people are not following this up that closely where they would notice or care about if we're shifting stuff around or retrying or reposting things. People don't follow us like that, and algorithmically, it doesn't work like that anymore. So you're just kind of cool to do what you feel. But I think he's done a really good job with the shorts, with our trial reels, and with our behind this and with our fight night stuff. Louis is somebody who I really think, if he can really hone in on what he's doing with MMA Spear and bring that over to Cage Titans into the real promotional world, he knows how to get numbers. Like we have crossed 1 million views for the first time on our YouTube because of Louis with our shorts. He's been able to keep it above 500,000 every single month since then, and that's a commendable, crazy feat. And he's been able to grow subscribership by over 700 people, like 700 subscribers. And that's, for a kid just starting out, that's a lot. And now our YouTube is actually kind of popping off in a better way than it ever has. Like this is the most numbers Cage Titans has ever had for an initial drop. These videos have been out for 3 days. Like we can scroll down and say, but like this is about to cross 1,000, 218, 3,400 for Jay Perrin, Trevin Jones, deservedly so, because those are two UFC level guys. That was an insane fight. Hillary Rose, 1,000. Little low for Nate. Little low for Nate. This one deserves more views. 117 for Cody Sapone, 80 for the boxing fight, 133 for these. I don't know why. So we got to take some inventory. Why are these performing so much higher? And these ones, that's usually what we get. But again, like you say, oh, there's a 2 former UFC guys. Like you got a UFC guy here, Don Chanis, and you have a guy, Zach Sabatino, who's literally put up somewhere around 20 million views in the last 2 years just off of his fights. And yeah, it doesn't translate to the long fight form. Maybe that's an algorithmic problem. Maybe that's a thumbnail problem. We'll look into those things. The boxing fights, those should be higher. Like this fight right here, like stop everything you're doing to go watch that. If you got 24 minutes, you could watch this. 133, 743 for the title fight. Totally get that one. 2,000 for Alyssa Tortora. Oh my God. 21,000 views in 3 days for Blaze Nichols and Eric Wynn. Deserved, because here's why it really did. Because this moment, start to finish, ridiculous. Let me get this off first. How are there no comments? That's suspicious. Well, let's see. Eric Wynn versus Blaze Nichols happened at Cage Titans Revolution. And oh my God, was it absolutely sick. So let's just watch Eric's walkout, and then we're going to watch the last 10 seconds. Because can we get copyright watching my own fucking shit? Probably. All right, producer, make a cut, because I want to get to the walkout. So yes. Oh, Eric. So he's with Back to Basics on Newberry Street. There's Cadu Lanes looking very Navy in the background. Eric is such a beast. He's the only person that get away with everything he does. What the? No! You did not just do that! What? That was not an overreaction. That was an appropriate reaction to how ridiculous that was. Hold on. Run it back. All right, where did that at? All right, it was a little bit before that. What? Jumping hugs, jumping hugs. Oh, they're the best team. They're the best team. They're so awesome. Eric is a great kid, great dude. He's going to be such a ledge. Well, let's watch the last 10 seconds of this fight because that's what we really want to see. So here's the thing. Stuffs the takedown. Last 10 seconds. Hits the filthy Frank. Boom. Yeah. Oh. Wow. What a brawl. What a fight. What a night. Definitely got to clip that celebration. That was ridiculous. But also look at this crowd. Man, look at that crowd shot. We smoked it that night. We sold out MGM. We did that shit. I'm probably going to be in the cage in a second, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I'm definitely in some of these videos, but I'm not like actually searching for me. Oh, yeah, I remember I had to tip off for something. But wow. Look at that room. Look at that show. Cannot wait to do that again. But 21,000 views, dude. Wow. So happy for those guys. So happy to see that. 1,000 for Jordan Tavares. And another great walkout. All right, I got time. I always got time for joining. So Ryan Daly, kid out of Weymouth. Weymouth High. Set a record 4-second knockout in his debut last time out. Last minute addition to the contest against Jordan Tavares. Now, Jordan is just an absolute animal. Fights all the time, everywhere, every discipline, doesn't give a shit. Constant showman. So he took this on like 2-3 weeks notice. So nobody wanted to fight Ryan Daly because he's tall. He knocked a guy out in 4 seconds. He's he's a tough puzzle. That's a tough guy to go against. But Jordan just, he knew the assignment and he came in and he rocked it. So let's watch his walk-in real quick. So here's a guy who just understands it's a show and you got to give people a reason to watch you and care about you and create this character. Look at this. Like when I say he's an animal, like I really admit that, like he's a fucking animal. Shaman. That's a mogging. That's absolute mogging. I love it. This is a good fight too. Let you guys go and watch it. Now I'm just gonna do a watch along to this. But again, comparatively, these are the highest numbers out of the gate for just a drop of videos that we've had, and that's crazy. Because you look at this was 1 month ago, 986. This one's got a great thumbnail, great fight. Dion Rubio, 8K. 7.1. That fight deserved it. 7.1, 7.1. But yeah, like you see some of them just absolutely whiff. And I can, like this fight right here, Charlie Breslin versus Timmy Monahan was absolutely crazy. Crazy. That should have way more views than it does. Yeah, but we also look at the Ring Titans. Now, despite what most people think, women fights always get the numbers. They always do. Man, women's MMA, it's the cheat code. Everybody watches it. Everybody loves to watch women's MMA. If you're not, you're a freaking liar. All right, shut up. It's so awesome. Let's see, again, like if you look at this, even CT74, yeah, these numbers did not reflect, but this last show, best numbers of her drop we've ever done. We definitely need to get these numbers up and figure out the consistency between them, but very happy to see that. Very, very, very happy to see that from Gage Titans. We're doing all right over here. And we were also able to start getting the recaps back out. Again, thank you, Silas, because we had a big drop-off last year. We did recaps after every show, but they were all formatted for Instagram, so really couldn't do it. Hamzat is a plague on the UFC, killing the sport. WWE defeat fail. Oh, my God. Does anybody do anything right anymore? MAGA Civil War. That's been the narrative for the last 2 fucking MAGA Civil War. Yeah, dude, they're always arguing. That's how they get views. Beef sells. You guys do it too. Don't tell me that you don't. You know, we were actually having some. Actually, look, Jackson, honestly, father, my name is daughter. That's a feel good. Wait, like I feel good. All right, do we do the crazy thing of just scrolling around Twitter and just hoping it doesn't get weird. No, I'd get weird. I'm not going to subject nobody to that. And also, again, we have nobody in the chat. You're just having fun. Doesn't really matter. Well, let's see. Or, you know what? Big believer in not forcing things. If it's not happening, it's not happening. Right now, I feel like we hit a good ending to that. Definitely some clips. But yeah, the big thing that I want to do for the stream going forward is I definitely want to start thumbnailing it. The biggest thing is I really don't want to do like official launches until like I've made all my worked out all the kinks. Like I want to get a new microphone in here. I definitely want to work on the background a bit more on the lighting. Definitely sounds a big stickler for sound right here. But yeah, I definitely would like to do more of these streams, just like an hour a day. Doesn't take that much. Let's see what's going on in the world right now. Moran, Rebuild Hospital, Zach Braff. If you haven't watched that, oh, yo, could I react along to stuff? Because I would love to be able to react along to this video. That's the best. So Chiclet U is definitely the best YouTube series out right now. Going college to college and just like showing out the different programs. And I think it's been the best promotion for college hockey in a long, long time. It shows why it's so cool, why it's so sought after, the stuff that goes into it, and realizing, like, look again, like Wisconsin's doing, like, why doesn't Wisconsin have an NHL team? It's like they got the University of Wisconsin, dude. In a lot of ways, it's like no NHL team's going to be able to come in and do what the Badgers have done. It's just not close. It's like the Wild aren't the Gophers. Dude. People probably don't even feel this. They probably feel more ways towards like War Road, Minnetonka, Edina, and like all of those teams than they do the Minnesota Wild. Like the Wild haven't done anything. Next stream, 100% getting Zins because I will not hit my vape on this. There will be kids watching. I will not set that horrific example. I wish I never started vaping. I love nicotine, though. MMA Guru. So how does MMA Guru get away with it? I think he, like, lines up a bunch of tabs, right? And then he just kind of just goes off on the tabs. Not too bad. Delete pure cash grab. See, this is what's wrong with YouTube right now. It's just absolute slop and dops. Reacting to the rumors, I don't care about the fucking Dan Hooker files. Dude, I live by a saying that I heard in the movie Rockstar with Mark Wahlberg when Steel Dragon was breaking up and they're this corny hair metal British band and they're kicking the lead singer out. It's like, we don't give a toss about who you're buggering. And I think about that line every day. I don't give a toss about who anybody's buggering. You can bugger whoever you want. I don't give a toss. I don't give a toss about who anybody's buggering. And I think other people should not give a toss about anybody else's buggering. Simple. I just also like the way it's like, look, we give a toss about who you're buggering. Like, this is the most freaking British response to anything. Bella Mir. Oh, yo, that's Frank Mir's daughter. She's in the national championship for Iowa. Dude. That's crazy. Like, and Brock Lesnar's kid is playing hockey. Hold up. Not to make it again. But Brock Lesnar's also got a daughter, too. She's doing shot put. She's not wrestling. Could we get Lesnar Mir 2 with the daughters? Just saying. If I'm the UFC, I'm prospecting that. If I'm MVP MMA, if I'm Nikita, I'm at the National Wrestling Championships getting Frank Mir's here. Like, yo, how much you think? You know, we know Mir's already good at MMA. With this other girl, but she's got that Brock thing. We could sell some tickets. That's all I'm saying. Netflix will put up the bag. The UFC probably wouldn't put up the bag for that because you need to develop them. Because here's the reality is they both need extreme development. Mir less. She's very accomplished in jiu-jitsu, very accomplished in striking, and an already in mixed martial arts, competing in Mexico for, I think, Icon Fighting, and has done very high-level jiu-jitsu, and now clearly a national wrestling champion. This girl is going to be a UFC world champion. And no offense to Brock Lesnar, I don't think that's her ambition. I think she's trying to go to the Olympics and get a gold medal in shot put, which she could probably do. I'm just saying down the line, like, let's say like 5 years, 8 years, maybe not 10 years. 10 years, I don't want it. Not 10 years, I'd see it. 10 years. Who cares? That's my big thing. It's like, who cares? Like, when it comes to the White House cards, like, I'm mad Brock Lesnar is not on that card. Like, give me one reason why Brock Lesnar should. They both, TKO owns both WWE and UFC. Brock's available. But just put him in there with DC. It's like, oh, but they're both. I don't care. I want to see it. I watch make it for the super heavyweight title. Make them both come in over 265. I want them as big as possible. DC versus Brock Lesnar. Because if you don't know, hold up. DC versus Brock Lesnar. Full fight? There is no full fight, son. Unfortunately. But yes, y'all remember this. He won the heavyweight title. And he does like the whole WWE promo. He does the whole thing. He does the whole bit. Lesnar, get your ass in here. And Brock immediately goes into working. Work! Puts his hands on him, pushes him back, gets a good separation. It's all show, but he's working. He's selling tickets. He's selling tickets. And DC's selling tickets. Oh, dude, hold up. Can I see the promo? Because the promo aged amazingly. Amazingly, that promo that he cut on the heavyweight division. Because he buried everybody in the heavyweight division in that one line. Hold up. Lesnar heavyweight disaster. I can't spell, clearly. All right, so let's just, okay, we can only do this, and I'll just go right to the part where it is. Screw this guy, screw whatever this is. Am I going to get a channel strike? Possibly. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, look, he grabs the mic right here. Work. Selling tickets. Let me jump out before I get flagged. But like, that's how you sell tickets. That's how you cut a promo. You could already see how they're gonna put that fight on the White House. DC versus Brock Lesnar, super heavyweight title for the USA title. I don't care. Put it on at this point. Because that's better than what we're getting right now. Honestly, I'm not stoked for it. Not for any reasons like political reasons. I don't like outdoor MMA. I like Bodog. I like different venues. But here's the thing. It's just like, I'm not stoked about this just because it's like, guys, it's sucking the wind out of everything we do. If we're going to do the White House, can we please do other crazy things? Can we please do Allegiant Stadium? Can we do Jerry World down in Dallas? Like, can we do Croke Park in Ireland? Can we do Anfield? Like, can we do the mega shows? Can we do Wembley? What can we do? Like, if we're going to go full send on wacky venues and wacky spectacle events, go full send on it. Like, full send. And I'm not saying that the White House is a half cent. $60 million is not a half cent for anything. And why are you complaining? You're getting on like Taporia, O'Malley, and Pereira back to back to back. Like, that's a fucking banger of a night. We're all going to watch. But my whole thing about it is like, okay, but why? If this, then let's do all the crazy stuff. But the reality of it is why we don't do the crazy stuff is I agree with Dana White when he's always said, outdoor fighting sucks. Outdoor fighting is the worst. It's bad for fighters. It's bad for fans. It's bad for promotions. You should not fight outside. Because some of the things like, I remember I've worked in an outdoor boxing show back in the day. And we had a black canvas. It was a summer day. I remember guys' shoes were melting into the mat. They were burning into the sun. They were gasped within 2 rounds because they just could. It's so hot because anybody who runs in the summer does any type of physical activity outside, lacrosse, any of those things, man, that sun beats the shit out of you. And that's if that's just the sun. You could also be dealing with high humidity. You could deal with a slight rain that you didn't have to happen. It could get cold all of a sudden. And keep in mind, when you're fighting, you're basically in your underwear. So you're introducing all these different elements. And then again, like we're outside. How are the fans going to react if the place gets cold or the place gets way too hot? It's just there's so many variables that go into these things that's why you want the controlled environment of arenas or venues that we do like MGM or with Plymouth Memorial Hall. It's when you get inside, we have a climate control. You just got to get them in the building, and all you got to worry about is the fight. You don't have to worry about going out there and feeling like you're fighting in a sauna, which is what might happen in DC. Just because if you've ever been to DC, it's pretty freaking humid. It's built on a swamp. And then again, it's like it's not a ticketed event. So yeah, they're gonna have like the 80,000 people across the street. Just hopefully, like my biggest fear when it comes to the White House card is that Cyril Gahn will poke Alex Pereira so deeply in the eye that the fight will not be able to continue, and those 80,000 people try to storm the UFC thing, and then they're just trying to get Gahn. It has nothing to do with politics. It has nothing to do with anything. It's like, not again. Stop giving this guy title. If Gahn could honestly undo all of America by being a donk. Like that's what could happen, honest to God. If Cyril Gahn pokes Pereira and or kicks him in the balls, like say if this happens. The fights so far, all right, Ruffy Bo Nickel, that was a pretty good one. Who knew? I don't know how that one's gonna go, so you can make your own pick. I don't do picks. I think that's lame. Then you're gonna get O'Malley versus Sahabi. We can just pull up the card here. Hold up. So, let's see. White House card UFC images. Let's get the official one. Bleacher Reports post. Oh my friggin' God. Does any link actually work to anything anymore? Like, I'm just trying to look at a poster of a card. And again, it takes me to friggin' to the same post. To the same clickbaity post. This is why you've already lost the internet. It's 2-3 clicks to not get the thing I want to get. Google is completely useless at this point. I'm better off just zooming in and just doing this because for some reason it's not going to pull up a window that makes any sense here. But let's look at it. Taporia Gaethje, good fight. The fight was him and Islam. That was the super fight, but Islam's not available for whatever reason. For whatever reason, I'm not going to speculate. But let's take it from the bottom. Lopez versus Garcia. Okay, Lopez is an action fighter. It's going to be good. Nickel versus Dawkins. Okay, Nickel versus Dawkins. First of all, from a marketing standpoint, I understand 100% why Bo Nickel's on this card. He's an All-American. He's a national champion. He's a friend of Donald Trump's. He's one of the best prospects in mixed martial arts, and everybody always bags on the fact that he's on a main card. He's a main card fighter. He's a main card draw. He's a feature fighter. He draws. And Dawkins, I think it's a good time because, again, not an All-American, but an All-American guy. I think, and I might be right, it might be him or his brother, police officer. So then you have Leo representation with on the card, which is another great angle. So now you have an All-American collegiate wrestler, Bo Nickel, like clean-cut kid. If you like him, you like him. You don't like him, you like people feel some type of way about him, and he's a main card fighter versus a guy who, again, as a B-side, is a tough challenge in the right opponent for the right moment, and he does present a credible threat to Bo because, again, he does have good striking. And again, I don't know, I have to recheck this on Dawkins. It's one of them where Philadelphia police officers or in some form of law enforcement. So again, that's a great tie-in for the card because we would probably want to see somebody that has a veteran background or some type of law enforcement background represented on the White House card. Like I would say so. That'd just be if I'm sitting in the UFC offices, like we got to get a veteran on here or we got to get some guys who are cops or firefighters on this card. It's the White House card. It's part of it. It's what we do. It's who you're supposed to represent. So get some on there. So I'm not mad about that matchup, but it could be what it could be. Chandler versus Ruffy. It's going to be a scrap. It's going to be Chandler understands his job. Go out there, put on a banger, do his thing, and Ruffy understands the same thing. So I think neither is going. They're going to go out there, meet in the middle, have the best fight they can possibly have. Nobody's going to be mad about that one, especially if they leave it all out there. O'Malley and Zahabi. It could be really good, or it could be a real point fighty lame thing. But I think O'Malley has enough to. He's shown that if he's got a guy at range at him, it doesn't matter if he doesn't go down 3 rounds. He'll just stylize on him, and I think that's a great move for O'Malley. Again, you take what Uncle Chael says. You take the best fight you can, best spot on the card against the guy that you can definitely beat. And I think O'Malley looks at Zahabi. It's like, this is a guy I can beat. But Zahabi looks at O'Malley. It's like, great challenge, great opportunity. If I can bring in the right game plan, I can nullify some of these things. So the big thing is you just hope that Zahabi doesn't take the Bushido smart game plan route. But that's what he's going to do because his brother's Faraz Zahabi. Like, he's GSP's coach. How the hell do you think he's going to fight? You think he's going to go out there and do what Ruffy and Chandler just did? No, that's not how they fight. It's going to be very precise. They're going to have a game plan. He's going to stick to it. He's probably going to have a B, C, and D. And just hopefully one of the A or B plans isn't let's clinch him against the fence. Let's slow him down. Let's work him down. Let's take away his power. Let's take away his speed. And let's really try to just kind of grind him down. That would kill the crowd. And that would lead us to our worst case scenario of getting to Pereira versus Goin. Now, I'm not mad at the interim heavyweight title in this case because Aspinall is hurt. He's out for a disclosed amount of time. We want to keep the division moving. This is a good one. Goin, who is just challenging Aspinall, even off a DQ. And then Pereira, who's the current light heavyweight champion, just dropped it. So that's a fight that makes sense. I don't know why people are so bent out of shape about it. The only thing about it is I think what people are most upset about is it wasn't John Jones and it wasn't Aspinall, and it's got to be Goin, who, again, but just by default of look and opportunity, he gets these opportunities. And here's where Goin in every big opportunity, to quote Luke Thomas, one of my old coworkers, dude cannot stop donking it up. Like, dude just donks it all the freaking time, and he just needs to stop. It's either he goes out there and he fouls a guy, he goes out there, he has an indecisive kind of wishy-washy win, he doesn't build the fight in the right way, he poking him knuckle deep. Like, dude is just donking it up every time. But he's failed upwards this whole time. And I just hope he doesn't donk this one up. Because if he donks this one up going into Topuria Gaethje, like, again, like, I don't want to say anything on stream other than, yeah, man, there's going to be 80,000 people in an open air stadium with unforeseen conditions outside. We don't know how the first part of the night, we don't even know if all these fights are going to stay together or they're going to add or do anything. But by that point in the night, if it's not going well and Goin steps in it, you got real problems. Real problems. Like, if he eye pokes, like he did Aspinall, and the fight stopped, or he kicks him in the balls, or he finishes him with like some clearly illegal back of the head shots, or it seems like that. Yeah, that could get really squirrely, dude. That could get pretty dicey. Some would say the diciest. And then I don't perceive that to happen. I think it's going to end up being an actually pretty contested, cool battle of point fighting and strikers just kind of going at it. Big strikers. I think they could actually go out there and have a classic, to be honest with you. That's what I would hope for. That's what my heart is hoping for. I hope Pereira goes out there, takes the center, and Goin, he's on his bike doing his whole hands down karate thing, even though he's fucking 370 pounds. Yeah, and they just go out there and they just have the striking battle we want to see. Throw long combinations, throw big overhands, throw long kicks, throw cool kicks. And if somebody goes night-night because they got hit on the chin, that's how it goes. That's why we like heavyweight MMA. And that's what they're again, it does solve one problem in heavyweight MMA. This is the best aesthetically looking MMA heavyweight fight we've had in a long time. Pereira versus Goin aesthetically looks like that's what you want your heavyweights to look like. So that passes this, at least the casual test, because again, you also have to look at this from the casual perspective. And then we get to Topuria Gaethje. I don't like how everybody's like Topuria is just going to go out there and chin Gaethje. Look, Gaethje is going to go out there and have the fight he knows he needs to have, which is he needs to go out there and he needs to put it on this kid, bully him, and engage him in the pocket, and it's going to be him. It's going to be about hey, it's you or me, because Taporia does put himself into position to get hurt. That's part of why he's so effective, is because he'll go into those positions that with those long combinations, you're right for a counter too. He's been head kicked and had to bounce back too. The biggest thing is he's so resilient, and he's also got that black belt jiu-jitsu in his pocket. So he gets knocked down. What the fuck's going to happen? Oh, you're going to jump on my guard? Oh, what? That didn't scare him. And yeah, so Gaethje, I don't think would. So I think here's the thing: if they go out and they have the fight that we think they can have, they're going to meet, and it's going to be like a lot of 50-50 exchanges. He's going to try to box on the inside. Justin Gaethje's going to chop those legs out. He's going to do what he always does, and just every time make it nasty, get inside, chop him down. And then Topuria, again, he's just got along the land combination and put the hook right on the button, because in the wide words of Lionel Boogs Young, man, like we all got a button. It resides right here and here. And it's an off switch. And it sucks to find out you got an off switch, but we all got one. Doesn't matter how tough you are, doesn't matter how hard you train, doesn't matter how skilled you are. You get hit clean on these parts right here. Doesn't matter if you're Alexander Volkanovski, Charles Oliveira, or Max Holloway. You get hit right here, you're out, and you're waking up like, what happened? He got me, didn't he? How bad was it? It's clean. He got you on the button. And that's just how it is. In fact, that might actually be sometimes the best case scenario. It's like, fuck, what happened? Well, at least I don't remember it happening. All right, anyway, White House card, please don't enter a riot. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to record and clip some of this and review some of the footage and see how we did. I had fun doing it. Good hour. We did an hour. First hour. Let's go.